Hey, I'm Yury from Life of UK, and today I will talk about how to hamster shop like a pro. Life of UK! But before we jump to the actual topic, I want to show you something. I bought something for video recording, and I'd like to know whether you will recognize the difference. So now versus now. So if you see the difference, please write a comment below and say me whether you like it like this or whether you like it was before. I just would like to know your opinion about that. So now about hamster shopping. I assume most of you know what hamster shopping means. I mean, we're currently living through social isolation where you do need to have a lot of stuff at home. But a lot of people don't do it right, if you ask me. So you know this whole toilet paper problem? That's not the way how you hamster shop. I have experience with hamster shopping. I do it since ages already. I think 5-6 years. So I do know how to do it right, and I would like to share it with you. First, I need to tell you that today we are talking about non-perishable products. So it's not about produce or stuff like that, because that's slightly a different topic. But currently we are talking about non-perishable products, or the products that have a really long period during which they are not perishing. And one of the first questions that I would like you to ask yourself is, how often do you actually buy that? So do you buy it weekly or monthly or once per 3-6 months, whatever? So you need to know the frequency. You do know the frequency. Just write the list of the things that you think you need to have at your place and write down how often do you buy it. My rule of thumb is something like, if you buy something only once per 3 to 6 months, then you only need to have this product itself at home. Maybe one in your storage, depending on the volume of the product. If you buy that product more often, then you need to have at least one in storage, maybe 2 in storage. So for example, I buy my shampoo about once per 2 months, 3 months maybe. So usually I have one in my shower and one in my storage place. But I buy styling products way rarer because I have a lot of them and I don't need to buy them that regularly. And I actually have one of each. But also now you can think a little bit about how much storage do you have and how big is the volume of a product. Because speaking of toilet paper, I'm not sure whether I would store 3 packages of toilet paper. And that's a point. If you don't have a storage, then why do you buy so much stuff in a head? Another question would be, how accessible is buying that product for you? For example, if you just need to go to some grocery store and you buy it over there, then maybe you shall reduce the amount of that product in your storage. So having it one in your storage is enough. But if it's more complicated, like you need to purchase this in a different country or stuff like that, then maybe you want to have a little bit more in storage, because it's complicated, because sometimes you don't know whether you will get it in this month, or maybe you will need to wait a month or 2 months or stuff like that. Again, my personal example, my hair products, none of them comes from Germany. And I currently live in Germany, which is why I always try to think in ahead. So I try to keep track of how much do I still have and be ready to purchase it when it's at a half, not when it's almost low. Again, my personal example are my skincare products, so my face skincare products. They come from USA, so I purchase them there, and I usually do have extra package of them in my storage, although I wouldn't buy them more often than once per 2 months maybe, because it's difficult for me to get them, which is why I do need to have them at my place just in case. Another tip, which is also a great saving tip, is wait for sale. Especially for the stuff that you don't buy as often, wait for sale. Because on that moment you can really hamster shop. So if you usually buy like one piece of that thing, at that moment buy 3. Just buy 3 if you have storage for that. buy 3 and you have it, and now you don't need to think about that for another year or maybe 2 years or 3 years. The only exception would be if you plan on travel. So once it happened to me, I purchased more shampoo than I needed. It was back in USA, as I lived in USA. And then I traveled back to Germany and I didn't want to throw anything away, which is why I took 3 big bottles of shampoo with me. It's not the way that you want to have in a package, which is why plan according to your lifestyle. These are some small tips that will help you to have everything you need at your place, but not way too much stuff. Because that's a problem with a lot of people. I need to buy that and that, and what if anything happens? What if, I don't know, isolation happens and we need to have all toilet paper in the world? First, you don't, just saying. And second, you know that you don't need a lot of product, but it's also nice to have a spare one if you are running out of something, right? Which is why I prefer to be prepared. That's my thing. Anyway, that's all for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.